All right, we ready, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Max C. or Seb, and then Sabay, and then Keith Burnett.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad.
Your Honor, he's coming. He's just in the restroom.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and take the next case. Is there anyone up the jail that needs the interpreter this morning?
So
No,
just
he's here now, though.
Max. I was using the restroom.
Is there anyone that needs the interpreter this morning?
¿Alguien necesita intérprete esta mañana?
No, Your Honor.
Oh,
All right,
Thank
Have a good
you.
day. all right, what state feels appropriate on this matter?
Your Honor, the state is seeking $20,000 with the no 10% cash alternative. If the court's not willing to go to order the no 10% cash alternative, then we'd be seeking $45,000. That would also be with pretrial services supervision, with a testing for controlled substances, as well as no contact with the Gold Dust West. We believe that amount of bail is appropriate based on his high risk assessment score of a 15. He has a very prolific criminal history. Most of those misdemeanor offenses, when I looked in Reno Municipal Court, he has 38 cases listed in their Odyssey alone. Just last year, he had 9 cases in Reno Municipal Court. 8 of those were for trespassing, possession of drug paraphernalia, and simple battery. He, just as an example, he was convicted of trespassing last year in December. He is currently under a suspended sentence for that case for 1 year with an obey all laws clause. In 2024, pretty similar trespassings, possession of drug paraphernalia, one of those out of Reno Justice Court, or 2 of those out of Reno Justice Court. He has misdemeanor failures to appear associated with his 2023 trespassing cases, obstructing cases. He has a 2022 obscene phone call conviction, a battery conviction in 2021, a battery on a protected person, gross misdemeanor conviction in 2021, and a battery in 2020. And that's just a snapshot because it goes on a lot further back than that. But the defendant continues to be violent. He continues to use controlled substances. And here he came into contact with law enforcement based on a victim's business calling them to come, and obviously he strikes this female officer 2 different times. So the state does believe that bail and those conditions are appropriate.
All right, thank you, Defense.
Speaking with the client, it seems he would like treatment with the Victory Outreach Program. That would be my ask today. Is direct transport to an inpatient program if he does qualify. We were unable to contact, he did give us some numbers. We were unable to contact the people. We were able to get a hold of one that did verify that he has been planning to go to Victory Outreach. And he also understands that he does need help. So that would be my ask today.
I
is
went
direct
to
transport.
All right, thank you. With the defendant's significant criminal history and failure to comply, and the ability to walk away from residential treatment, I think that doesn't satisfy the least restrictive means. I think the state has shown by clear and convincing evidence that bail is necessary to ensure the safety of the community. The appearance of the defendant will be set as requested. $45,000, the 10% options available. No contact with Gold Dust West. Random drug and alcohol testing will bail laws. Make all court appearances. We'll see you back Friday the 30th at 9:30 a.m. for arraignment on the criminal complaint. Thank you. Bennett and then Cooper.
Pretrial supervision is clear.
What's that?
Pretrial supervision.
Yes. Check in with pretrial services as ordered. Bennett, or it looks like Burnett. Yeah, I know. Burnett and then Cooper. Burnett and then Cooper.
Hang on, have a seat.
All right, what the state feels appropriate on the Bennett matter?
Your Honor, state is seeking $75,000 with no 10% cash alternative. Based on the category B victim charge, we are also seeking pretrial services supervision with a no contact order, both by court order beginning immediately, as well as by statute, which begins upon release for 120 days. We are also asking for house arrest and GPS prior to release for victim safety, as well as a no firearms clause. We believe that bail and those conditions are necessary based on the defendant. First of all, based on the facts that are violent, the defendant pushed the victim so hard that she fell to the ground and broke her clavicle. He does score high on the risk assessment at 11. He has 3 outstanding old failure to appear bench warrants from different jurisdictions, not ours, that are all non-extraditable, but they all do show that he failed to appear or comply with court orders. In our jurisdiction, just this year, he was cited for sitting, lying, sleeping on public space out of Reno Municipal Court. That's currently pending. He was convicted in 2020 of trespassing out of Las Vegas, domestic battery arrest in 2020 out of Las Vegas, but it shows to be dismissed, or it says dismissed after diversion. 2019, another arrest for domestic battery out of Las Vegas. That one shows to be dismissed. Convictions for drug paraphernalia and trespassing and false statement to obstruct an officer out of Las Vegas. Another false statement to obstruct conviction in 2018 out of Las Vegas. Another trespassing. In 2017, another arrest for domestic battery. That one also shows to be dismissed. 2014, he was convicted of domestic battery out of Illinois. He's got a felony conviction for possession of a controlled substance out of Illinois in 2012. Shoplifting, another domestic battery arrest in 2001 out of Arkansas. It doesn't show any disposition or whether it was a felony or misdemeanor. And then he's got convictions for theft of property out of Arkansas, criminal contempt out of Arkansas, and then another theft out of Illinois. Those are all back in the 2000s and 1994. So the defendant's been committing crime for literal decades at this point. He does have numerous prior arrests for domestic battery. And obviously this one is very concerning. So the state does believe that higher bail is appropriate with those conditions.
I think it depends.
Yes, Your Honor. So any sort of bail is going to be de facto detention. As Mr. Burnett lives in the shelter, he does work with Safe Camp, but he also missed his job yesterday because he was in custody. So based on that, my ask is an OR with any conditions that you would find appropriate, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. The state shown by clear and convincing evidence that bail, even outside of the defendant's ability to make it is necessary to ensure the safety of the community and appearance of the defendant. We set a $100,000 no contact with the victim, separate criminal offense pursuant to NRS 178-4845 for the maximum 120 days. Ankle bracelet in place before release to ensure compliance as well as residential confinement. No firearms. Checking with pretrial services is ordered. Bail allows make court appearances. January 30th at 9:30 will be the defendant's next court date. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, January 3rd.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Not today.
Cooper and then Ibarra Puga.
Sure. Oh, no, yeah.
Right, Renee, you want to have that? That was Norton.
All right, with state feels appropriate on this matter.
Your Honor, the state's not going to object to releasing the defendant on his own recognizance. I see that he's 4-5, but he was overridden due to some similar prior arrests. I do show that he has his prior convictions consist of an arrest for false statement to obstruct out of Las Vegas in 2024 with no disposition. He also was arrested for DUI second in 2023 out of Las Vegas. There's no disposition. I attempted to search through Odyssey records down there. I couldn't find any conviction for that offense or even arrest for that offense or a criminal complaint filing for that offense. And then in 2020, he does have a prior conviction for DUI. That one was out of Las Vegas. He did complete his requirements in 2021. I was able to look at that conviction out of Las Vegas, and he was compliant with his supervision in that case. So based on that, I'm not going to object to an own recognizance release. We are seeking pretrial services supervision with testing for both alcohol and controlled substances. We'd also ask that he have a no driving clause unless and until he can show proof to pretrial services that he has regained his driving license privileges.
All right, defense.
We'll submit on that, Your Honor.
All right, defense based on his own cognizance. Random drug testing, daily alcohol testing, DUI rant, daily mutual support group meetings and in treatment. Check in with Washington County Pretrial Services as ordered. Next court date, January 30th at 9:30 a.m.
Thank you. All right.
Huga, and then Heron. All right, what does Steve feel is appropriate on this matter?
Your state is seeking $40,000 in bail for this defendant. That is based on the facts of the case, obviously, which revolve around the use of a firearm, and couple that with possession of a larger amount of controlled substances. The state, even though he scores low on the risk assessment, he's 19 years old. So you won't be surprised to hear that he doesn't have any adult criminal history. But based on the facts of the case, the actual pointing of the firearm while at the GSR, again, the finding of the larger amount of controlled substances, the state does believe some bail is appropriate. We're seeking that $40,000, along with pretrial services supervision with a no firearms clause, testing for controlled substances, and a stay away or no contact with the GSR.
All right. Defense.
Yes, Your Honor, so I'd be asking for an OR release. His MPRA score is a 3 based on his age and phone. He does have a phone number, so that would really just leave the 2 points for age. I think a no weapons clause is appropriate as a condition of release. I do understand the state's concern with the possession of controlled substances. So with that, I would also just submit to pretrial services testing and any other conditions that you'd find appropriate.
So the charge that concerns us the most is actually a gross misdemeanor in this case. I think I have to take some guidance from the legislature in that regard. Given his low risk score, I'll give him one chance with pretrial supervision, no contact with GSR, random drug testing, no firearms, checking with pretrial services, order of bail laws, NECO court appearances, January 30th at 9:30 a.m. to next court date. Heron and then Barfon Valiante.
All right, buddy. Hey, go
Yeah.
ahead, that's your house.
Yeah, you're good. So Your Honor, we were able to speak with Ms. Heron. She did waive her appearance. Good morning. Go sit down. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
All right, what does Steve feel is appropriate?
Your Honor, we are seeking $5,000 for this misdemeanor offense that is based entirely on her very high risk assessment score of 14, which included 2 points for failure to appear, which we know that she failed to appear for her currently pending case in Reno Justice Court, which she failed to appear back on December 11th of 2025 and has a bench warrant issued for that case. In addition to her failure to appear, she never checked in with DAS as ordered by this court after posting some bail on that offense. In addition to that, she does have prior criminal history, felony conviction for PSNV, possession of a stolen motor vehicle in 2021. She's got some theft convictions and PCS convictions, 2018, 2017. She has another felony conviction for possession of a controlled substance for sale back in 2015 as well. So based on the totality of all of that information, the state does believe she's certainly a risk to not appear for court, and we're seeking the $5,000 with no conditions.
All right, thank you. Defense.
Yes, Your Honor. And speaking with Ms. Heron, she does not have a job, or she does have a job, I'm sorry. She does clean houses for ProMage. She does live at 1620 Andesite Avenue in Reno. We were also able to call her brother Joey. He was not able to verify where she works. He did note that she had a job last time they spoke. It's been a week or two since they've spoken, so that was fairly recent. I understand her high MPRA score. So my ask today would just be $1,000 or some sort of other nominal bail, as this is just a possession of drug paraphernalia. And with that, I'll submit, Your Honor.
All right, state has a compelling interest not only in public safety, but ensuring individuals appear for their court cases. And in this case, given the risk assessment of criminal history, prior compliance or lack thereof, state shown by clear and convincing evidence the bail is necessary to ensure the safety and immediate appearance of the defendant was set at $10,000. Pretrial services supervision, January 30th, 9:30 a.m. is the next court date, or bail on legal court appearances. That just leaves Valiente.
Morning.
Morning, what state feels appropriate on this matter?
Your Honor, we are going to seek a 1-day continuance in this case due to victim contact for Marcy's Law.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.